Hi there. We are now looking at compound interest. We are solving for n, and we're going to use something called logarithms. Way back in the old days when I was in school, there was probably 1 or 2 chapters in something called geometry where we learned about logarithms and the whole history of it. And I'm going to be lazy and say, if you are interested in logarithms, go ahead and Google them. They were, I think, originally invented before calculators because they can allow you to do square roots and squaring and like math pretty easy. But with the advent, oh goodness, I sound so old. With the invention of calculators, it's not so important. But there are certain questions that the only way you can solve them, the only way I know how to solve them is using logarithms. I'm not going to teach you how to use logarithms. I'm just going to teach you how to use this one specific formula. Maybe if I have time, I will do a video at some point explaining how I came up with this formula. But for now, trust me, it works. Okay. So again, logarithms are basically what they do is they change, you're using essentially exponents, but not, yeah, you should Google logarithms. Logarithms are used in a pH scale. So if you pH for acidity, decibels for volume, and the Richter scale for earthquakes are probably the 3 common things that I know that they still use that logarithms are specifically part of the formula. And now, a 4th thing, this handy dandy formula. All right, and you will indeed get this formula on your exam. So the A, P, I, and N are exactly the same as before. Nothing has changed. All we need is this handy dandy formula. And like I said, other than guessing and checking, like putting a number in, calculating it out, and going, well, that didn't work for a long time, this is it. Probably in class, I'll show you an example of that. Okay, I've got the numbers in here. Don't worry about what they stand for. Let's just work through the math. Okay, so n is equal to the log of 1,000 divided by 500 divided by the log of that. You still follow order of operations. So n is equal to the log. Now, 1,000, okay, 1,000 divided by 500 is 2. So it's a log of 2 over the log of 1.08. So put those, divided that, put those together. Just trying to figure out, I think we can do this all in one step. So we're going to take the logarithm of 2 divided by the logarithm of 1.08. So on your calculator, you should have a logarithm button. And I have one that's written right there. So I'm going to go log 2 divided by log 1.08. And I get 9.006. Okay, so that was log 2 divided by log 1.08. That's my keystroke, so I'm going to put a box around that so I remember how to do that. Okay, on your calculator, it might be slightly different. You might have to go, let me just try it on this one. Log 2 equals, and then go divide by log 1.08 equals. Still get the same answer. So if you're not getting, if it's not cooperating, your answers are not the same in mine, try that first. That's probably what's going on. If you have the dollar store special calculators, you might have to put the number in and then hit log and then hit equals. So just keep playing around with it until you get it to work. All right, let's try this one. So n is equal to, I'm just going to highlight that. I'm missing my n. Except 20 over 40 is going to be 2. Oh, I guess I should have changed a little bit more of the question. Log 1.08, and it's going to be log 2 divided by log 1.08. Oh, I think I was trying to make a point there. This has got to do with doubling money. So whether it's $500 and you're doubling it to $1,000, or $20 and doubling it to 40. That looks like the question from the rule of 72. Okay, doesn't matter. It's still going to be about 9 years. All right. So let's do this one at the bottom. We'll write the steps in. This is a little weird. So 1, simplify the brackets. So n, so 7,000, divide by 560. So it's going to be log. Don't lose the words. Don't lose those words. It's important. 12.5 divided by log 1.025. I don't think that. Okay, so steps was a great idea when they were complicated. Use calculator. So let's put in the keystrokes. So log 12.5 divided by log 1.025. Try that. So log 12.5 divided by log 1.025. So n is equal to 122.2868. There's nothing about how to round this, so let's just go 122 years. Okay, so just like me, if you're doing the question and it doesn't say anything about how to round it, you can round it pretty randomly. Okay, so that's what you did. Oh, and an equals. Or, again, depending on your calculator, log 12.5, then do equals, and then you get your answer, and then divide. .025 and then equals. So it really depends on your calculator how it's going to do that or not. All right, cool. End of the video. It's a little esoteric, but once we get the questions, it's going to make sense.